Hello, hello. This is today's general reading. How are all of you today? How are you? I hope you're doing wonderful. I'm doing all right. All right, Spirit. So please bring me the message that the collective needs to hear. Best message for the best people that need to hear it. Okay. It looks like there was some type of situation with you and another individual. If you're a male, then it was with a female. If you're a female, then it was with a male. Where the male felt like he was kind of thrown off his throne with the whole finances category. Like he felt like he wasn't really being the right provider, the best provider at the time. And the female feels like she was thrown off of her throne because of her voice. She didn't feel like she was really able to speak up the right way. She didn't feel very heard, basically. And she also wasn't necessarily hearing her partner. Basically, their two truths came to a stalemate. And they were not willing at the time to reach out for support. So things became a little bit stagnant or stuck. And now, I guess it'd be more so like slow moving, like molasses, the movement of their improvement and their growth. The male was working with his shadow side. He's not addressing the shadow aspects, that is. He needs to work on his shadow side. The female was asserting a little bit of blame towards him, but also at the same time extending her hand for him. He's just looking the other direction. He didn't want to take the help from her and didn't want to hear what she had to say. And that's what brought them to that stalemate, that slow molasses movement. It made the female feel like she was really deprived of her life force. She was still, however, though, looking after the male for the solution. She wanted to see what was wrong with him and not focus on her own inner spiritual or inner energetic drive and motivation. She allowed her focus to stay towards him. He is being very stubborn in his truth. And he is not looking any way except for straight on his own path. He is refusing to bend in his beliefs and in his, so he's probably not being very receptive to the conversation happening. However, he needs to realize that there is stormy weather coming up behind him, and because he's not looking around, he's not seeing the storm brewing. I feel like he's wearing his beliefs as his armor and just being really stubborn in that aspect so that he can stay on the throne. It's causing him to do a lot of work that is basically secluding him. It's cutting him off from the access to everybody else. And it's also making him feel very overworked, underpaid. He doesn't feel like he appreciates the income coming in towards him, which is then denying him of his universal truth, what the universe is trying to give him as his, like what he knows is his life path, his life truth, his real, what he should be setting after and what he should be holding true in order to wear the crown that he wants to wear. So what are they going to do about this first? What can they do about this? Justice is going to be served to whoever owes it. He needs to, the male in the situation is acting a little bit childish, if you may say. He's focused on the money and not wanting to look at anything else. But at the same time, he's not focused on the money. He's just focused on the goal of the money, I guess you could say. He's not allowing himself to see that there's other options. So that there aren't any other arguments. I feel like or this could be a positive thing that had happened. Maybe he stopped looking at his other options and that caused the arguments to start slowing. Yeah, as soon as he stops looking at the other options, as soon as he focuses, that's what the message is. I just pulled one more card out for it. As soon as he focuses on the options, the fights will stop and good fortune will come to them and to him, but to them as a unit as well. Yeah, right now he's balancing between what he knows that he should do and what he was already doing, and it's because he was already doing it, it was the one that he's more accustomed to holding, and so he can't let it go for some reason. This actually brought a lot of grief and sorrow to him. However, that's going to be healing soon. And this is a divinely led situation. He's going to soon find out when he connects spiritually and he stops looking at things half empty. And he starts seeing that the world is half full. Because right now he's focusing so much on what he already spilled out, what he lost, that he's not noticing that he still has things that he's gained already. It's like they've already become something that's he's used to, so it's not anything new anymore, so he feels like he's in lack. But that's not necessary. There's actually so much coming from the universe for this situation that it's like able to be just poured out and it'll refill again. As soon as it's actually the universe that's fueling the like filling the river that he's going to be filling these cups with. But he's in that mindset. I'm going to show you this card out of all of them. He's in this mindset. Kind of like a spoiled kid, kind of, like just like, it's not the way I wanted it though, The universe is like, here, look. And I feel like he may even be like kicking over the cups after the universe gives it to him. Yeah, and he's refusing to take help from people or take advice. And again, the universe is trying to bring balance. The universe is praying that he gets balance. He needs to find it. He needs to find that balance between his emotional self and her emotional self, and what they need and what they lack, and find that perfect medium. One foot in, one foot out. It's time for him to step into his power. He needs to really realize that he is worth everything that he wants. He's worth it, and he's going to be able to achieve it. He needs to start doing it though, because pretty soon the universe is going to get tired of waiting, and they're going to start depleting those payouts that have been happening for him. But what's going on with her? Let's find out. Or is this a reading just about him? We'll find out right now. Universe, what's going on with the girl in this situation? Feminine. This could be about somebody's masculine and feminine sides, since we do have both. So it could be a battle between the two sides of you. Okay, with her, she's ready to set out on a new journey. She's got her eye on the prize of something in the future. She realizes that she's built enough to know that she can build more. She's ready to move fast. She wants to move rapidly to get this thing going. Because she's tired of being in depletion, and she wants to go find that water and that substance. She did feel a pretty ultimate betrayal and heartache. Like somebody stole her truth from her. It also could be that she had actually been robbed by something that she was creatively really pulling towards. And now she feels like in loss. Or for some of you, this could be that she's the one that's speaking a little bit deceitfully by kind of like sugarcoating the words coming out of her mouth because of the betrayal. She doesn't feel like she's in lack with money though. She feels like she could make whatever she doesn't feel like she's working too hard for her finances right now, but she's also still a little bit upset about this betrayal. She's overcoming some type of addictive or toxic personality or personal trait or actual addiction. I'm not sure which one you want to take that, depending on, of course, each of you, because this is a collective reading. She's seeking out being a little bit carefree with her sword of truth. You know, she definitely has a way of like waving it around so that she's also not looking away from the storm. She's willing to fight into the storm because she knows that she's going to be divinely protected because of the fact that that's why she has the truth that she has. Because it is her honest, as long as her truth is righteous and it's what she really means. But right now she is feeling like there's some reason she has not been able to start her new journey. And the universe is waiting for her to do so that it can pay her out financially. She just needs to take that first step, which is actually going to be meaning that she goes, it's already the direction that she's already leaning towards. She's already looking in that direction, but she's just got to do it. And once she does that, she's going to end up with it as the Queen of Pentacles. She's going to be sitting on her throne in a very domesticated situation with her own self-sufficiency and her own empowerment. And her spouse, the man in this situation, is going to be sitting with his emotional fulfillment. However, it appears that they aren't looking towards each other. He's still looking away and she's looking at the money, kind of sad. So it's going to be, it could be something that maybe is better off experienced individually, or it could be something that she's going to be really self-sufficient in and she's not going to need him, and he's going to be really self-sufficient in his emotions and he's not going to really need her, which could be how they overcome this toxic behavior, because oftentimes we rely on each other, which makes it into a toxic situation because one person gets too dependent. So this actually, it could be a very positive interpretation of this. Instead of them looking away from each other, they're just looking towards their own direction, but they're still sitting next to each other on the thrones. And they're both going to be releasing whatever it is about their childhood that they're holding on to. Maybe it's a dream that they had, maybe it's an old relationship, whatever it may be. They're going to both be releasing it and actually being able to offer each other what they need, or not what they need, what they want to give to each other, and not what they feel like they are required to give. Now, for some of you, this may be opposite of that. It could be a less positive interpretation. Take it as it resonates, okay? For those of you that it doesn't sound like it's going to be that positive of an outcome, it would be that the female and the male do stick through it, and they realize, because they think that they had gotten over whatever the addiction was, and then they realize that she feels very lonely because she's sitting there with her wealth and her self-sufficiency, but she still doesn't have him emotionally, and he's sitting there very content with his emotions, but he's holding them in and keeping them away from her. In which case they do not offer each other their cups, and in that case there's going to be bad luck coming to their direction, some type of halt in the karmic cycle. Things are going to be coming out in the open. Now, for some of you, it's got when the male does step into his empowerment and he does get financially strong again, he may stop offering help to somebody else, which is going to cause a rift in that relationship. So again, if you are the male, or if you're dealing with the male, you need to remember that this is not about winning, this is about happiness. So don't look at your emotions, or don't look at other people's emotions like they're a game, and don't look at money like it's disposable necessarily, but look at it like it's a blessing, and that it's something that is always being offered to you and not something that you have to work your life away to gain, so that you can still have a life and be happy. Okay, so I hope that was helpful, and if you would like a private reading, then feel free to send me an email to amberenergyhealer@gmail.com, or you can visit my website, amberenergyhealer.com, or you could also find me on Airbnb now, and on, of course, A Live Psychic and Morena, which are listed below. So be sure to subscribe and like it if you liked it, comment if it resonated. If it didn't, share it with your friends. Maybe it's something one of them needs to hear. And I will see you next video. Love and light.